Hey guys, it's your boy, it's your man's, no sleep having American Psycho on the internet, apparently, because I don't kowtow to the regime and or its militant followers, whatever the fuck that means. Got a lot of new things coming, got a lot of new ideas, but today I just wanted to do kind of a personal video to explain the situation last night with somebody that I cut emotions with. Simply because of my own self-preservation and my own mentality at this point. It's hard. It's really hard to, I said that it's like flicking off a switch. It is, but in very slow motion, if that makes any sense. It takes a long time to, decimate that deep of a love and care for someone. And, it's a twofold thing, really. It's to protect the person from retaliation against me in the coming years of my life and her family. I love her and her kids very deeply, or I did. Her kids are, still sweet kids, beautiful kids. She's a beautiful person. She's a very great woman. She'll be fine without me. Like I said, everybody will be fine without me. That's kind of hard to talk about because, at the end of the day, I was just a guy who wanted value in the arts, in general, and just to be, a successful artist. Now, that being said, there's a lot of emotional things that go on with you when you kill emotion. A lot of things that lead up to it. It's a pretty easy process if you're willing to take the road and the trip to save yourself, which that is what I'm doing right now because I feel like this person is using my caring for them for some kind of thing that they're not admitting to me yet or talking about, and that's fine. They can keep it a secret. They can not talk about it. The truth will come out in the light of day, just like with Sarah Dees. And that goes to a further point now that I want to make about a comment that somebody posted on a thread. A fellow artist, the guy seems pretty okay, but at this point he has labeled me as a psycho and threatening women and all this stuff. He's working some kind of agenda for someone, I don't know who, at the moment. Whether it's the cult of Sandeep or somebody else or to further his own career, I really don't know. This message is kind of meant for him as well, since he doesn't seem to understand my comments or my, take on it. And this goes to a further point for all of you to understand why this war is important to me and why this social movement will not stop until Sarah Dees is stopped because of what she's done and what's going on. I've talked about it so much at this point, people don't seem to understand it or get it, and that's fine. Americans don't understand a lot of things. That's why I'm done with the country. As I've stated before, America is just the wrong place for me. It's been the wrong place for me my entire life. I don't fit in here. I'm not a real American. I'm not a good American. I never kowtowed or conformed to the system, and that was my problem. I could have easily wore what I was supposed to wear, acted the way I was supposed to act. Trust me, I grew up with certain members of my family promoting racism in my head from a very early age. I fortunately went to a predominantly black school where a lot of that stuff was contextualized for me, and racism became a very large thing. I was very fortunate in the regards of, my mother and father being two polar, opposite people. My mother was a woman of science, progressive thought, and my dad was more or less not the smartest man, and he believed in a lot of things that conflicted with her. Why they never got a divorce or separated, I have no clue. I guess it was because they felt like they were doing the right thing staying together. Either way, the end result was the same later on during their disabilities and their inevitable madness from that and our living situations. They let it be known that I was never meant to be. I was a mistake. I was a night of passion that they didn't have aborted. That's basically what it boils down to. And that's fine. People make mistakes. I don't hold any ill will towards my mom and dad about that because, people make mistakes, and at least my mother and father did the right thing. They stayed together even though they hated each other, and they took care of me. So what else can I say, really? What else can you ask for? They did the right thing. But that's why I label myself as a mistake now. I don't wear labels of egotistical pride, because I'm not, at the end of the day, I'm not proud of myself. At the end of the day, I'm very disappointed in what I've done so far. At the end of the day, I do realize that I had a mental break that postponed me from doing what I'm doing now, which is fight for what's right and fight for the little guy, the mistakes of the world like me. Black, white, male, female, it doesn't matter. Everybody is treated all the same to me. If you're a fucking idiot, you're a fucking idiot. If you're a very smart and beautiful person, you're a very smart and beautiful person. I don't judge on race, religion, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. And that's not good enough for this America now. That's not good enough for Americans in the art scene. You have to be a conformist. You have to cow down. You have to believe that there's a higher form of art. Why? Why do I have to believe there's one form of music that's superior to everything else, or a video game, or anything else that Americans have fed into, the bullshit over the years? There is no one, to me, there is no one true God. To me, there is no one true faith. To me, there is no one true anything. The world is diverse. The world is beautiful because it's diverse. America was beautiful because of immigrants and what we've managed to do together. It's not because of lack of immigrants, despite what the regime will tell you now of this fucking mad shit show we got running the fucking White House. No, immigration is what made us. My heritage is Native American and Irish and German, Scot-Irish and German. Working class people who were thrown together here in North Carolina to hash it out. Whether we killed each other or not, whatever. That's why there's a lot of embedded racism, but also a lot of unity in North Carolina. A lot of people from New York have moved down here, Boston, from down south to Charlotte and surrounding areas. It's a really, if you look at the grand scheme of it, there's a lot of things that are being developed. And North Carolina is a very, Charlotte, North Carolina in particular is a very progressive city in the regards of there is a lot of melting pots going on that people have made work. It's a beautiful thing once you really look at it. Yes, there's violence. Yes, there's problems. But down in the system somewhere, you could see people coming together, white, black, Mexicans, Cubans, whatever, shaking hands. And that's what I've seen all my whole life in North Carolina. And that's what I'm saying. Like, going back to the point of this particular person, this young gentleman who has decided to pollute my Facebook feed with his garbage. With all due respect, man, I'm not here to touch your money. I'm not here to touch your fame. I can if you want me to. That's fine. But the very fact that you admit that you've known what Sarah Dees has done for years and you did nothing about it shows the complicity and the ignorance of artists like you. Now, I don't care who the people are involved in this. I really don't. The fact that you guys chose to take a route of joking about what she's done to the arts shows how conformist and chicken shit you all are. No offense, but you are. You're chicken shit. You're happy to suit the regime, just like I've said about the Nazi Empire. You're happy to protect Hitler as long as Hitler is giving you the gold and making sure you're okay. And you ignore the smoke coming out of the camps that rains ash down on your cars like snow, the burning bodies, and you ignore that. Well, then when America comes in and takes down the regime, they make you see what you did, and that's what America did to Nazi Germany. The German citizens were forced to walk through concentration camps after the war. They were forced to see what Hitler was doing and what they said they didn't know was happening. And I feel like that's only appropriate now for Sarah Dees and her supporters and everybody who's contributed to the overall harm that this has done. See, what you guys don't seem to understand is this is not about me. This is not about Julio. This is not about our own personal gain. This is not even about the young woman, Jen, who offered up her words of encouragement. And she has provided evidence of Sarah Dees' madness to be quantified and collected and put into a file that will be presented to Facebook when the time is right to ask for the immediate deletion and investigation of her and her activities over the last years. Anybody who was involved with her and complicit in those crimes will be exposed as well. Evidence is being gathered daily. It's not just one man. It's not just me. Unfortunately, there's an order behind this. An order that is, of course, in the shadows because we're not retarded. We don't put ourselves out in the open. We are, doing the smart path. We're smarter than you. We're better than you. We're quicker than you. We react faster than you. We have a network all set up and ready to go. And I feel sorry for you people. I really do. The ones who were complicit in her crimes. And he goes to a further point to say, well, we made jokes about it and we had fun about it. I'm sure you did. I'm sure when Bill Cosby was raping those women, there's a couple of people who said, that's Bill being Bill. That's boys having fun. For 50 some odd years, that's what people said about Bill Cosby's crimes. People covered it up. People were complicit because Bill Cosby was making them money. Bill Cosby had power, just like Sarah Dees. And if you underestimate the crimes of what she's done to the arts and the arts community, maybe you should start actually listening to the people out there. Maybe you should start actually hearing the stories I've heard. Do you think I'm doing this just because this shit started yesterday or 2 weeks ago? No. This has been going on for years. This person himself has admitted he knew about this for no less than 3 years and did nothing about it. None of these people have done anything about it. They haven't followed up because they're scared. They're scared to lose their careers, their livelihoods, and everything else, and I get that. Me personally, I'm not scared because she can't take nothing away from me. You can't take nothing away from me. I've stated it time and time again. And you're going to learn the hard way that you can't stop my message or my art. You could delete this profile, you could take it down. There's going to be 4 more to spring up in its place. You take me down on Facebook, I will find other websites to promote myself through, and I have other avenues to make money. Facebook is honestly the last way that most artists even self-promote anymore, because it's such a damn cancerous, horrible environment. That's fine if you did what you did and you thought that was the right path, dude. I don't care. It's not about you. I'm not coming to your page hurting your money. As a matter of fact, I went to your page and I saw the things you were doing and I left, positive comments on your work. You're a good artist, granted. Doesn't mean you're smart. Doesn't mean you're intelligent. Doesn't mean you're empathetic to the cause of other artists. Doesn't mean you know the struggle. Doesn't mean you know anything. As far as I'm concerned right now, to me, you're starting to come off as an egotistical prick who thinks he knows more than I do or the world about what's going on. And to me, you come off as a fucking rape denier or a victim denier or whatever. You say the victims have no right to say anything about what happened to themselves because you know the truth. And you're such a big, higher intellectual artist and you do such great works. Well, whatever. That's fine. Get the fuck off my profile. Get the fuck out of my life. Nobody asked for your help or your input. On my end, I don't know what Celia and Sarah are asking you to do because obviously you're working for them or someone. And maybe, somebody in the cult of Sandeep asked you to come and try to talk to this crazy madman on the internet. And that's something else that doesn't make sense about your argument. If I'm so crazy, deranged, and unreachable and a danger to you, why would you label yourself and put yourself out there? Because you're not that hard to find. So do you really want to test the limits of my madness and my inability to control myself right now and bank on the fact that I can't find you? Do you know how much money I make? Do you know my abilities to find you? Do you know what I'll do to you and your family? Do you not know what I'm going to do to you and your family? Do you know how many of us there are out there, truly? You only know what I've allowed you to see. You only know what I've allowed you to know. At this point right now, you have no idea what's going on. And you won't until it's too late. And that's the way it's been from the very beginning. You've been helpless. And that's fine. I stand by my words. The cult of Sandeep Shinde or whatever, is not a victim of this. They're not. Despite most of you people around Sandeep, I don't want to exploit him. That's why I haven't posted any more about our conversations except for what I felt was appropriate to show you that I'm not a fucking monster. And Sandeep apparently didn't think I was a monster either. And, I will do everything I can to support him and his financial stability after everything collapses, because it's going to collapse. I don't know how many more times I got to say it. And it doesn't matter if it takes another day, 2 days, a week, a year, the rest of my life. It's going to collapse because Sarah has ruined young artists. She's destroyed artists. Whether anybody wants to come out and admit that or say that or not, it's not a game. It's people's livelihood, mentality, and everything. Because I was one of the puppets that she felt the need to play with. And her friend Celia. And that's her friend. And most people don't want to remember the past because it makes them look like fucking idiots and assholes. And I get that. And that's fine. If I'm a bad man, and if I have evidence against me of being, mentally disturbed, that's fine. That's old news. I will admit to anything that you provide as evidence. My John Montgomery profile, I welcome you to go scan through that if I allow you on the friends list, because it's a private profile of personal friends. But I may even provide screenshots of the entire conversations that happen on my timeline, because that's been preserved during that time of the Sandeep hand turkey and all that stuff. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Just kind of venting about the killing of emotions, which will take place over the next 24 to 48 hours. I'll be seeking new job opportunities, and then posting more artwork and getting my art career going strong. And I'm running on like a couple hours of sleep today because of this, killing of emotion. I haven't had a lot of sleep, which is fine. I got a lot of coffee, and I got a cigarette or two, so that's going to make me, get through the day. But just no disrespect. And this is where I got to say, don't get my message twisted to this one person. No disrespect to you, whoever you are, John Jones. I think that's his name, if I remember correctly. No disrespect to you, man. I don't want to touch your money or your career. You're a person who just came out of nowhere, and you're not involved in this. You guys felt like you were doing the right thing towards Sarah as far as trying to decimate her. You haven't hurt her numbers or her engagement, and I'm doing it my way now. And if my way works, then that's fine. I don't want any favors from you guys. I don't want any cultivation of my career, nothing. You guys can walk away. I will never know any of you people again. The only person I care about preserving any friendship or relationship with in this whole situation is Julio. The only reason why I want to preserve something with Sandeep is because I owe him that obligation to make sure he's financially secure in the future if I take away the way he's making money. Just that simple. And if you ask me, if he's already lost money, if people are taking away financial support to get to me, that shows you what they do to people. Sandeep has been used as a minority foreigner to exploit, and now that he actually is seen talking to me, they're trying to take away his financial stability, apparently. I don't know what's going on with that, but that's fucked up. Y'all gonna sit there and try to cut off everything the man's made? You've used him for, and now you're going to try to sit there and cut off the man's only means of making income that you promised him? I don't know what's going on with that. I guess I'm going to find out and collect evidence against him for that. So some really deep, dark shit. And, in the meantime, while I'm killing emotions, I'll try to foster other emotions and focus on me and not some, dream from the internet. That may have all been directly resulted of my mental instability. I grant you that. My love and affection for this person, and that's fine. We all make mistakes, and apparently I made a very big one by opening up my heart again and allowing somebody that close, which will never happen again. So anyways, have a good day, guys. Take care of yourselves, and remember, complicitness in a crime is just as good as committing the crime yourself.